Hey everyone, so I have started to grow out my eyebrows again. It's kind of like an annual thing for me at this stage, but I don't know about ye, I am like a maniac for plucking, and I pretty much have to pluck my eyebrows every day. You'll see in a minute why, because my regrowth is insane, which is like a curse and a blessing at the same time, because I've been able to like practically get rid of my whole eyebrows and reshape them and do whatever I want, and they've always grown back. The only downside meaning that there's a lot of upkeep to keeping thinner shapes, but I'm kind of sick of that upkeep, and I just want to kind of embrace my more natural, slightly thicker eyebrow shape. So you can see even here there are probably a lot more eyebrows on me that you'd normally be used to. I'll show you a picture now. This is even only from like just 2.5 weeks ago, just before I started growing them back to what they were like. But I naturally have quite thick brows, and they weren't overly dense, but they're thick. There was a lot more of them. So I have to start the process of growing them back, which is never fun. It's such a pain in the arse, and I know a lot of you agree with me, and it's something that I've often given up on. I've got to week 2 or 3 and the eyebrows are just so horrible, I've given in and plucked them thinner, but I'm determined not to do that this time. So I'm on week 2 now, and they have filled out enough that they have a shape. So what I first do is I stop plucking altogether for a week. I mean, I don't touch it, which is so hard for me to do, and just let as many like hairs start to grow through the skin as possible. And it usually is about, for me, a week to a week and a half before it starts to get a proper shape. And then at that stage I get rid of any of the excess hairs like outside the shape that I want to get. So when I do finally pluck, I usually initially draw in a template, and I'll only pluck outside that template. That way I won't over pluck and kind of get ahead of myself. Now at this stage I kind of know, because there's enough hairs there, that it's actually grown into its own template. But like I said, I'm lucky. I'm only a week and a half, nearly 2 weeks growing my hairs back, and mine grow back quite quick. That's another problem, is that some people, your hairs just won't grow back. Like my older sister Aoife, she plucked her eyebrows when, you know, when we were teenagers, kind of more mid to late teens. And when we were younger, she always had thicker, more dense and darker eyebrows than me. Like she plucked them a few times, made them really thin, and she just never has to repluck. I mean, she literally goes a month without plucking and she gets almost no regrowth, like hardly anything. So hers won't really grow back, whereas with me, within a few days, I have a good bit of stubble and regrowth. So this is one look that I've been doing, and the reason I did it is, for a lot of people, when you thicken your eyebrows, especially when you darken them, it can be very overwhelming for the face or for the eyes, especially if you have smaller eyes. You'll see a lot of the time some of the girls, say on catwalk shows and stuff, like Gemma Ward or Jessica Stam, they are so beautiful, but they have bigger eyes and they can really get away with those thicker eyebrows. If you have smaller eyes, thick eyebrows generally will overwhelm the eye area, especially if they're not really for everyone. For me, they're okay. If I didn't have all this eye makeup on now, these would be way too dark for me, because my eyes are so deep set. They tend to look very shadowed, and they can look very tired and just not great. So I have a lot of eye makeup on, and the reason behind the colours I used were, I really want to take the focus maybe away from my eyebrows so much until they're growing back and onto my eyes. And for this I used purples around the eyes, which would really make the greens stand out, and then I used this bright green eyeliner. It's one of the MAC ones, and it really takes all the focus down to my actual eyes and away from my eye brows, and it also kind of brings light to the eyes, so it doesn't make them look so tired and sunken back. And this is just one thing that you can do, especially if, like me, you love to play around with makeup and you're not scared about you know, wearing more brighter looks or slightly more dramatic makeup. So you could always adjust this to suit different eye colours, you know, so that it really brings your own eye colour out. If you've got blue eyes, you could go for the more like bronzy goldy tones, and then like a blue, really bright blue eyeliner. If you've got brown eyes, you can pretty much go with any colourful eye colour. Most colours suit brown eyes. So just look into what colours really bring out your own eye colour. Another thing you can do then, and this is a makeup I wore in week 1 of my eyebrow regrowth. So in this makeup look, I used a lighter brown on my eyebrows because I had a lot less makeup on the eyes, and I didn't want to go half as dark as, say, as what these ones are. But I still wore a really like thick black eyeliner so that the shape and the size of my eyebrows wouldn't overwhelm my eyes. It's again going back to my eyes being quite deep set. I want to bring the focus a bit further down onto the eyes, but I still kept them fairly neutral without too much colour, and then wore a bright pink lip, and that way the focus is really again taken away from the eyebrows, and it's not going to be so noticeable that they're like stubbly and grown back and stuff. And then if you really don't want to wear so much makeup at all, if you want to go really natural, this is another look I did again in week 1. But I just go really light with the eyebrow pencil. So that's all I did here. I just went really light, and I mimicked the hairs, so did little ticks, and then brushed the hair into place. But for brushing the hair into place, I get the hair and I brush it down so that it covers a lot of the area that's regrowing, rather than brush it up. So that way you won't see as many gaps. And then always wear mascara if you are going to wear any makeup at all. So that's pretty much it. There's a load of other things out there. This is something I picked up today. It's from Primark or Pennies, and it's called Take a Brow, and it's an eyebrow kit, and something like this would come in so handy. So it has a few templates there, and I like a how-to thing there, which is really handy. Like one of the templates are stuck. So like, say there's one of the templates. So you could draw in your eyebrow first if you liked one of these shapes. Maybe get thicker ones. These ones are quite thin, but you could always make up your own templates. And I know some places you can actually buy them, but those kind of things are handy. And then you can fill in your eyebrows first and then pluck around them. Kind of like I did when I just drew in my own template. But this comes with an eyebrow pencil, some powder in light and dark, and wax, and it comes with tweezers and an angled pencil as well. So this would really be everything you need for filling in the eyebrows, and it only costs €4. So that's just something I thought I'd mention because it was handy, because there's so many things in it for such a little price. And I think that's pretty much it. So I'll show you a picture now of what my eyebrows looked, say, this morning before I filled them in and did my makeup. So hopefully, I'm like crossing my fingers that within the next 2 to 3 weeks there'll be thick enough and enough hairs there that I can just use eyebrow set or clear gel rather than having to fill them in all the time, or that I'll just be able to use a lighter brow like shadow or pencil or whatever. So thanks a million for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you really soon. Bye!